Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to talk about suicide masteries. We're going to answer a few questions like what they are, if you should get them, how expensive they are, and what are the best characters to run with suicide masteries. So first of all, we're going to answer what they are. So they are the three most rightmost masteries in the offensive tree. But we're going to talk about glass cannon just because you have to put a point in there to move to suicide mastery. So it increases your health by 2.4%, it decreases your it increases your attack by 2.4%, it decreases your health by 2.4%. Just 1 point here is enough. It's not too expensive, 3 of those Tony cores. Then this is the most annoying part of running suicide masteries. It is recoil. It increases your attack by 30% at rank 1, and it can go up to 60%, but the only situation where I would recommend running 3 points and recoil if you are running a character like magic, who would just recover all that damage back, or maybe ghost, where you can just phase off that recoil damage. But other than that, you would take like 10% damage each time you use a special attack. So special 1 and 2, special 3 doesn't cause recoil damage, thank god. So here I personally would say just put 1 point here and move on. This is definitely really annoying with characters who depend on using their SP1 and SP2. Like the biggest example is probably Void. He just sucks with suicide masteries. He's not immune, he takes the recoil damage. You want to spam your SP1 with him and stuff like that. Then we're going to talk about the main 2 parts of the suicide masteries. First of all, liquid courage. You get a permanent poison on you. So poison, the way it works in this game is it reduces your healing in general. So like if you use, let's say, Wolverine, if you run him without suicide masteries and you're regenerating for, let's say, 300, then you will be regenerating for less with suicide mastery, because you have that permanent poison on you, and that will decrease the healing in general. So that is the bad part about liquid courage. But the good part is it increases your attack by 30%, and the thing is, you don't want to run 1 point or 2 point here. You want to max it out straight away. The reason for this is that even at rank 1 you just gain 10% attack, you lose 0.6% health each second, and even at rank 3 you just lose 0.6% health each second, but you gain thrice the amount of attack. So that is why you should definitely max it out as soon as you can. Then a lot of people they run partial suicide builds. That means you run recoil with one of these two. I do understand why people would run double edge with the just the double edge part, because mainly for 2 characters, Omega Red and Corvus Clave. Corvus just heals from it and increases attack by 30%. Omega Red is another story though. He gains death field in the start, so that is huge for him. So it basically increases your attack by 30%. It does a lot of bleed damage. This is not a permanent debuff. You lose up to 20% health if you don't have willpower, coagulate, or anything like that. But we're going to talk about willpower in detail now. So if you want to run suicides, usually you have to run willpower with it. So the reason why I have 6 points in greater vitality is not because it's a good mastery, but because you need 15 points to even think about to even be eligible to put points in willpower. So that is why you can put them randomly in energy resistance, physical resistance, anywhere. Don't bother with stand your ground. It makes you annoying in Alliance War and Arena as well. So here, willpower, max it out if you're running suicides. Then there is a mastery coagulate. So if you're running full suicides, you have some characters who are decent with suicide masteries, but they're not bleed immune. Then you might consider running coagulate maxed out. It reduces maxed out. It reduces the bleed damage you take by 30%. So that is huge. With willpower as well. Let's talk about what willpower does. So new type of debuff is the keyword here. So if you have 2 fatigues, you have 3 fatigues, you have 10 fatigues, you will regen the same amount. But here. So you gain 0.7% health each second if per debuff basically. So if you have bleed, you're going to regenerate 0.7% of that, plus coagulate will just reduce it by 30% straight away. I personally don't run coagulate for some reason. I never invested in it, but if you are considering it, then it is definitely a good mastery, because if you run suicide, you won't be always running double immune characters. You will sometimes have to use characters who will take the bleed damage, who will take the poison damage. So that is why investing in willpower and coagulate is definitely important. Just quickly, I'm going to show you the the utility, the proficiency side of the tree here. Nothing too fancy, just parry, stupefy, and dexterity there. So coming back to offense, this is the build that I run. I do sacrifice the coagulate, but in return I get to run 5 points like max or deep wounds, 1 point in assassin, and 1 point in despair. So that really helps me out. It gives me, this is the suicide mastery setup that I run, and I think the better setup is the one with coagulate. You can sacrifice, let's say, put 2 points on the in deep wounds, and then you can max out coagulate as well. So 59 points used. So this I think is slightly better. You can put points in deep wounds and take those points from somewhere else, like maybe you don't want to run max parry or max stupefy, then you can get them as well. So that comes down to you. The characters that I say makes it worth running suicides are 4 in my opinion. There are a lot of characters who run well with suicide masteries, but 4 are going to, if you have them, you should run suicide masteries. They are Omega Red, Corvus Clave, Black Widow Clairvoyant, and Ghost with the synergy, even without it. So that's pretty much it for this one. If you have any questions regarding the suicide masteries or any mastery in general, do leave them out in the comment section. If you want to contact me, hit me up on Twitter or line. And that's pretty much it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe for more content, and thank you. Bye bye.